that good? Okay.
Nelly Kelly loved baseball games, knew the players, knew all their names. You could see her there every day, shout hooray when they'd play. Her boyfriend by the name of Joe said to Coney Isle, dear, we'll go. But Nelly started to fret and pout, and to him I heard her shout,
take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Oh, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Nelly Kelly was sure some fan. She would root just like any man. Told the umpire he was wrong all along, good and strong. When the score was just 2-2, Nelly Kelly knew what to do. Just to cheer up the boys she knew, she made the gang sing this song.
Take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Play ball. Tonight, right?
Yeah. This was 1908, and Tin Pan Alley, and we'll tell you a little bit about it, because this is a young crowd. You probably never heard the term before, right? And Tin Pan Alley, one type of, let's say, Tin Pan Alley was part of, in Manhattan, West 28th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, anybody who's been to New York. And so it was the place where all the music publishers would get together, and they'd have their little studios. And the people who were performers, let's say in those days it was largely vaudeville, they would come around to look for new material, and you would have song pluggers. So each one of these little cubby holes would have an upright piano, often not well tuned, and the song pluggers would play all the new compositions and try to sell them, in addition to the sheet music that was coming out. Some journalists coming to interview one of the famous composers was walking there in the summer. All the windows are open, and you hear this cacophony of all the songs being played on these tinny sounding pianos. And he came up with the term, sounded like, tin pans, clanging in this alley. And so that was one use of the term. The second one, which Judy and I are using, is for the style of music. And essentially, Tin Pan Alley is America's pop music from approximately 1892 to maybe the mid-50s. And it started with the emphasis on sheet music, and it lost some of its power as radio and records began to take over. But so it's a style of music, and that's what we're performing today. So, and Judy will tell you a little bit about Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game was written during a 15-minute subway ride. The subway was new in the year 1904. I actually learned a song called Down in the Subway. It was a romantic song.
Yeah.
because you could spoon and nobody would know where you were, because you were in the subway. But anyway, the subway was 4 years old in the year 1908, and a fellow by the name of Jack Norworth was on the subway, and he looked up, as we are prone to do when we're riding on public transportation, and there was a sign that said, "Baseball game today at the Polo Grounds." And in a 15-minute subway ride, he wrote the verses that you heard and the chorus to the song, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which I believe is the third most popular song sung in America today. Who wants to guess what the first one is?
Happy birthday.
And the second?
Star Spangled Banner.
Boy, you guys are really good.
Very good.
Star Spangled Banner. Anyway, he only jotted down the lyrics, which, if you go to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, you can find in that Hall of Fame. He asked a friend of his to write the music. The friend did so. And in the year 1940, I believe, they were both inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The fellow who actually wrote the lyrics still had never seen a baseball game. Okay, we're ready for our next number?
Right, and it's, yeah, I looked at our set list, and I didn't do it deliberately, but we're focused tonight mostly on songs from the 20s. But we threw in an old one that's 1908, and well, I'm talking about 20s being more recent. You know, and I almost have to say, you know, it's 1920s. Aren't we in the 2020s now? That's scary. And so the music was changing. There were a lot of waltzes that started in the 1890s. The music tended to be a little bit sweeter, softer, and it was now beginning to be replaced by ragtime. And we started with the Scott Joplin piano rags and so on, but the songs became increasingly kind of upbeat, syncopated. The lyrics tended to be a little bit more sort of colloquial as people would speak. And but as always, there were people who still preferred the older music, and there were people who just loved the new stuff. And one of, I guess, our favorite composer, Irving Berlin, came up with, in the year 1914, a song that he called a double song. I guess a more musical term would be contrapuntal. And Judy's going to sing. What part are you going to sing?
I'm doing the old and sweet melody because I'm...
Because you're sweet, yes.
Michael's going to do the raggedy one.
Raggedy.
Because, well, you know how it works when you've been married a long time. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm old and sweet.
And then we're going to, as part of the medley, we're going to go back to an Irving Berlin song from 1911, his first major hit, and the most important popular song up till that time. It sold more than 1 million copies, sheet music, and earned Mr. Berlin about $50,000.
Well, he only would have earned $25,000 had he only written either the lyrics or the music, but he wrote both. So he made $50,000. Now, here's another question. What is that worth today? Would it, $1.5 million? So from one song, he did really well. Are we ready, Mike?
I think, yes.
Won't you play a simple melody like my mother sang to me? One with that good old-fashioned harmony. Play some simple melody.
A musical demon set your honey a dreaming. Won't you play me some rag? Just change that classical nag to some sweet, beautiful drag. If you will play from a copy of a tune that is choppy, you'll get all my applause. And that is simply because I want to listen to rag. A musical theme that set your honey dreaming. Won't you play me some rag? Just change that classical nag to some sweet, beautiful drag. If you will play from a copy of a tune that is choppy, you'll get all my applause. And that is simply because I want to listen to rag. Oh my honey, better hurry and let's meander. Ain't you going,
To the meter man, ragged meter man.
oh my honey,
Let me take you to Alexander's
grandstand, brass band. Ain't you coming along? Come on in here, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, come on in here, it's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before.
So natural that you want to go to war.
That's just the bestest band what am. My honey lamb, come on along, come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on in here, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Oh my honey, there's a fiddle with notes that screeches like a chicken, like a chicken.
And the clarinet is a special pet.
Come and listen
To a classical band, what's peaches?
Come now, somehow, better hurry along. Come on in here, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, come on in here, it's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before.
So natural that you want to go to war.
That's just the bestest band what am. My honey lamb, come on along, come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on here, come on here, Alexander's ragtime band. Thank you. Now, moving right along, year early 1919. And so this is a World War I song. And by the time the music for this song came out, the war was just over a few months earlier. And the problem was we had all our doughboys over in France, and the readjustment to America. Keep in mind that the country was much more heavily rural and agrarian at that point. And so the musical question was, how are you going to take these boys back to the farm after they've seen?
The can. Yeah, they had their eyes opened in France, and this is what happened. Now, a slang word for farm boy was rube. And so in this song, we talk about Reuben, because there's Mr. and Mrs. Reuben. I'll play both parts because Michael never bothered to learn the male part. So you'll just have to figure out which one I am when I sing it. Are you ready, Michael? Reuben, I've been thinking, said his wife, be dear. Now that all is peaceful and calm, the boys will soon be back on the farm. Mr. Reuben started winking and slowly rubbed his his chin. He drew his chair up close to Mother and asked her with a grin,
how you gonna keep them down on the farm after they've seen Parry?
how you gonna keep them away from Broadway,
Jazzing around and painting the town. How you gonna keep them away from harm?
That's a mystery.
They'll never wanna see a raker plow.
And who the deuce can parley-voo a cow?
How you gonna keep them down on the farm after they've seen Parry?
Mr. Reuben, you're mistaken, said his wifey dear. Once a farmer, always a jay, and farmers always stick to the hay. Mother Reuben, you're mistaken, though you may think it's strange. For wine and women make the mischief with a boy who's loose with change.
How you gonna keep them down on the farm after they've seen Parry?
How you gonna keep them away from Broadway,
Jazzing around and painting the town. How you gonna keep them away from harm?
That's a mystery.
Imagine Reuben when he meets his pa.
He'll kiss his cheek and holler, ooh la la.
How you gonna keep them down on the farm after they've seen Parry? Okay, time for...
Now it's time for the quintessential 1920s music. What do you think the most popular dance was? Who wants to help us? There's a dance place there. We need our Charleston people over there. And I need a washboard player to help me. Where's my washboard player? There he is.
Okay.
Okay. So this is an interesting story about the Charleston. Michael will tell you more, but there were, I think, 8 different Charlestons written,
Okay.
and only one has lyrics. Mostly they were dances. Oh, I get... This is Splash.
Hey, how you doing?
He came all the way down from Santa Fe just because I enticed him with, you can play the washboard.
Have I ever played the washboard?
You never have?
Well, at a party once.
Anyway, whoa.
Whoops.
It's so old it can't even break. It's wonderful. But Michael's going to tell you a little bit more about how the Charleston came about.
So it was published, part of a Negro musical review on Broadway, 1923. But it began about a decade earlier. James P. Johnson. Anybody familiar with that name? He was, some people call him the father of stride piano. He taught Fats Waller, and he was playing in a saloon several blocks from the waterfront in New York City, and he was really intrigued by these funny dance steps that the longshoremen would perform. Many of them were from South Carolina, specifically Charleston. So the dance started, he started writing numbers to fit that kind of rhythm. There was that kind of rhythm, which is still played today by traditional jazz groups. And many of the songs that you hear in the 1920s would incorporate that kind of rhythm. So he wrote about 8 of them, as Judy said. When it came to putting on the musical review, they took one of the 8, which is the familiar one, and they, Cecil Mack, who was his lyricist, put words to it, the words are rarely performed. And Judy and I
Well, and the
will...
verse is rarely performed, but because you're rare people, we will pay that.
And then...
And then we need Rose to do the Charleston.
And anybody who would like...
And anybody else want to join Rose doing the Charleston?
to show us your steps for...
It says dances right there. I read that sign. Well, don't be shy, folks. Are you ready, Michael?
And the interesting thing is the beginning verse is so different from the chorus that,
It doesn't sound at all like the Charleston, but here we go. Carolina, Carolina, at last they've got you on the map. With a new tune, funny blue tune, with a peculiar snap. You may not be able to buck or wing, foxtrot, two-step, or even sing. If you ain't got religion in your feet, you can do this dance and do it neat.
Charleston, Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance. I'll say there's nothing finer.
Charleston, Charleston, oh Lord, how you can shuffle.
Every step you do leads to something new.
Man, I'm telling you, it's a
opposite. Buck dance, wing dance. We'll be a back number, but Charleston, the new Charleston. That dance is surely a comer sometime. You'll dance it one time. The dance called Charleston, made in South Carolina.
Take it, Flash.
South Carolina.
Watch the ladies.
Charleston, Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance. I'll say there's nothing finer than Charleston, Charleston. Lord, how you can shuffle. Every step you do leads to something new. Man, I'm telling you, it's a Lapasu buck dance, wing dance. We'll be a back number, but Charleston, the new Charleston. That dance is surely a comer sometime. You'll dance it one time. The dance called Charleston, made in South Carolina.
Thank you. We might give you again. Let's see what's going on. Oh, not yet. We'll call you back. That was great. Okay.
Now we're going to
Thank
slow
you,
it down a
gals.
bit. And not everything during the jazz age, during the Roaring '20s, was an up-tempo number like that. We're gonna do a few later that will be, but they also produce a lot of really nice ballads. And one of the ones we're going to play today, which is called Ukulele Lady. And how could I resist that? I mean,
This is a ukulele.
Yeah, now the ukulele really started coming into prominence in the year 1915. There was a Pan American Exposition in San Francisco in 1915, and much of America was really introduced to Hawaiian music and to the ukulele. And it took off like wildfire. Soon after, you started having on sheet music, you'd had little grids on the top of the music, the chords, and you would see fingering, but it was for the ukulele, not the guitar. And it stayed that way through the 20s and 30s. As a matter of fact, the ukulele was the second most popular instrument in the country after the piano. And so here's a Tin Pan Alley tribute to Hawaiian music. This is not from the islands.
I saw the splendor of the moonlight on Honolulu Bay. Fond memories memories cling to me at moonlight on Honolulu Bay. And all the beaches are filled with peaches. They bring their ukes along. And in the glimmer of the moonlight, they love to sing this song.
If you like a ukulele lady like a you. If you like to linger where it's shady, ukulele lady, linger too. If you kiss a ukulele lady and you promise ever to be true, and she see another ukulele lady fool around with you,
maybe she'll sigh,
an awful lot,
maybe she'll cry,
and maybe not.
maybe she'll find somebody else by and by
To sing to when it's cool and shady, where the tricky wicky wackies woo. If you like a ukulele lady like you.
She used to sing to me by moonlight on Honolulu Bay. Fond memories cling to me, moonlight, although I'm far away. Someday I'm going where eyes are glowing and lips are made to kiss, to see somebody in the moonlight and hear the song I miss.
If you like a ukulele lady like a you. If you like to linger where it's shady, ukulele lady, linger too. If you kiss a ukulele lady and you promise ever to be true, and she see another ukulele lady fool around with you,
maybe she'll sigh,
an awful lot,
maybe she'll cry,
maybe not.
maybe she'll find somebody else by and by to
Sing to when it's cool and shady, where the tricky wicky wackies woo. If you like a ukulele lady like you. Thank you. That was from the year 1925, I believe. Okay. So
We're limiting our set time to
we're
40
now up to the
minutes.
1930s. Yeah.
Yep, we got there fast.
This is 1936. It's a song that was popularized by Fats Waller. This was one that he did not write, however, and it's really a good piece of advice in any kind of relationship. And
Ready?
sure,
You'll know this one. Not the
and
parody. I do a
there's
parody of it.
so many of these songs that we knew were because of the reissues that came, typically during the 1950s, and so even if you watch TV, if you watch the variety shows, you would have an Ella Fitzgerald or Perry Como or whatever. They'd come on, and they would not be singing the song that was on the hit parade that week. They would basically sing standards, and which typically were songs from the 20s or 30s. And so we knew songs, we knew a lot of this music from then, but also this was reissued in the mid-1950s, I think 1955, by a group called Something Smith and the Redheads.
They all had red hair and they all went to UCLA.
And they did a lot of these things. I remember Shanty and Old Shanty Town, and songs like that.
Well, let's play this one.
Okay. Be sure it's true when you say, I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you, yes I do, I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure that it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Here's Miss Judy.
Cross my heart and I hope to die. I'll never, never, never tell another white lie. Took a little girl out on a date last night. Next to her, gravel Gertie would look alright. Well, I'm between the devil and the deep blue sea, 'cause my baby ain't good to me. Told her I loved her, but oh how I lied. And now she's getting up to be my blushing bride. If she leads me to the altar, then I'm sunk. Because I can't tell the preacher I was drunk. Oh, Lord, have mercy on a no-count sinner. Give me one more chance to let another guy win her. Cross my heart and hope to die. I'll never, never, never tell another white lie. I'll never tell another white lie.
Be sure it's
Cross
true
my heart
when
and
you
I hope
say
to die. I'll never, never, never tell another white lie.
It's
Took a little girl out on
to
the date last night. Next to her, gravel Gertie would look alright. Well, I'm between the devil
Millions
and
of
the deep blue
hearts
sea,
have been
'cause my baby ain't good to me. Told her I
just
loved
because
her.
these
Oh, how I lied. And now
words were
she's getting up to be my blushing
spoken.
bride.
I
If she
love
leads
you,
me
yes
to the
I
altar,
do,
then I'm
I
sunk.
love you.
'Cause
If you
I
break
can't tell the
my
preacher
heart,
I
I'll
was
die. So
Oh,
be
Lord, have
sure
mercy
that
on a
it's
no-count
true
sinner.
when
Give
you
me one more
say
chance,
I
let
love
another
you.
guy win her.
It's a sin
Cross my heart and
to
hope
tell
to die.
a
I'll
lie.
never, never, never tell another white lie.
It's
I'll
a
never
sin
tell
to
another
tell a
white lie.
lie. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, this one came from a movie. This is a song from the year 1930 something. 38.
38.
Michael gets all the facts right. We don't know if he's really correct. We just pretend he is.
Yeah.
And it was in a movie. Michael's going to tell you all about the movie.
The movie was called Thanks for the Memory. Now, how did it get that title? Because early in 38, studio put out a movie with, I think it was the first movie that Bob Hope was in. And his co-star was a young actress by the name of Shirley Ross. And the movie was not particularly good, but the song, Thanks for the Memory, actually won an Academy Award for best, song for a movie that year. And the studio said, hey, let's capitalize on this, and so they put out another movie later in the year starring the same couple, and the plot line was that Bob Hope and Shirley Ross were young, married, and so deeply in love they couldn't bear to part from one another. So they gave this basically plot line to two fair to middling songwriters, a fellow by the name of Hoagie Carmichael, and a lyricist was Frank Lesser. And they came up with a song that I think is at least as good as Thanks for the Memory. And they were so deeply in love, they couldn't bear to be apart from one another, even when they were asleep. So they stayed up all night. And
I think this is this good? Susan, I know we're supposed to do like a 40-minute set, but we have one more after that. What do we not do that one? I have no idea what.
yeah.
We keep going. Okay, good. Go for it, Michael. Here we are, out of cigarettes.
Holding hands and yawning, look how late it gets. Two sleepy people by dawn's early light. and too much in love to say goodnight.
Here we are in a cozy chair,
Picking on a wishbone from the Frigidaire. Two sleepy people with nothing to say and too much in love to break away.
Do you remember the nights we used to linger in the hall?
Your father didn't like me at all.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you remember the reason why we married in the fall?
To rent this little nest and get a bit of rest. Well, here we are, just about the same.
Foggy little fella,
Drowsy little dame, two sleepy people by dawn's early light, and too much in love to say goodnight. Here we are, don't we look a mess?
lipstick on your collar?
Wrinkles in your dress. Two sleepy people who know very well, and too much in love to break the spell.
Here we are, crazy in the head.
Gee, your eyes look gorgeous, even when they're red. Two sleepy people by dawn's early light, and too much in love to say goodnight.
Do you remember the nights we used to cuddle in the car?
Watching every last fading star.
Remember, the doctor said your health was under par.
And you, my little snooks, were ruining your looks. Well, here we are, keeping up the pace, letting each tomorrow slap us in the face. Two sleepy people by dawn's early light, and too much in love to say goodnight. Two sleepy people by dawn's early light, and too much in love to say goodnight.
Good night. Well, we have one more song to play this set, and please come back for the second set. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We certainly are enjoying ourselves. And there is a donation box, so once again, we really appreciate that this place has allowed us to be the new Solid Grounds Entertainment, and we just hope that we're able to have it continue for many more years. Thank you, Susan and Tony and everybody else on staff. So this one is about enjoying yourself. What a concept.
Mm-hmm. This is our new song, 1949.
You work and work for years and years. You're always on the go. You never take a minute off. Too busy making dough. Someday you say you'll have your fun when you're a millionaire. Imagine all the fun you'll have in your old rocking chair.
Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
You never go to nightclubs and you just don't care to dance. You don't have time for silly things like moonlight and romance. You only think of dollar bills tied neatly in a stack. But when you kiss a dollar bill, it doesn't kiss you back.
Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
You're gonna take that ocean trip no matter come what may. You've got your reservation, but you just can't get away. Next year you say you'll see the world, you'll really get around. But how far can you travel when you're 6 feet underground?
Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
You worry worry when the weather's cold. You worry when it's hot. You worry if you're feeling well. You worry if you're not. It's worry, worry all the time. You don't know how to laugh. They'll think of something funny when they write your epitaph. Oh, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
Okay, we'll see you.
Well, while Michael is getting his stuff ready, I'm going to ask you all a question.
Yes.
What it was the most popular automobile in America in the year 1905? Who's? Wait, I couldn't hear you guys. Shout. Who said Oldsmobile besides Michael?
And Anne.
Anna knew? Anne?
I thought you did.
Anybody else say Oldsmobile? Because if you did, you win. So we're going to start this set. We're going back in time, and we'll go along the timeline, starting in the year 1905, with a song about an Oldsmobile. And in the first decade of the 20th century, waltzes were really, really the thing. They were really popular. And this is a waltz, just like Take Me Out to the Ball Game was a waltz, is a waltz. And this is a little love song where a couple goes automo-bubbling. Do you know what automo-bubbling is? Those of you who are imagining the wrong meaning of automo-bubbling is is you go for a joyride. Ha. So here we go. Young Johnny Steele has an Oldsmobile. He loves a dear little girl. She is the queen of the gas machine. She sets his heart in a whirl. And when they go for a spin, you know, she tries to drive the auto, so he lets her steer as he gets her ear and whispers soft and low.
Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile.
Down the road of life we'll fly, automo-bubbling, you and I.
To the church we'll swiftly steal.
Then our wedding bells will peal.
You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile.
La da 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 da. They love to spark in the dark old park as they go flying along. She says she knows how the engine goes. The sparker's awfully strong. They love to spoon to the engine's tune. Their honeymoon will happen soon. He'll get Lucille with his Oldsmobile, and then he'll softly croon.
Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile. Down the road of life we'll fly, automo-bubbling, you and I. To the church we'll swiftly steal, then our wedding bells will peal. You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile.
You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile.
Thank you. Now, that song was actually kind of controversial back in 1905 because of that line. you can go as far as you'd like with me. And the automobile was essentially a threat to the morals of the community anyway, because instead of courting the girl and having to go sit in the parlor of or the vestibule of the parents' house, you can now take your young lady away from the parents' watchful eyes. And so things were changing.
So we're going to ask if Flash would like to come back on stage. And also it's time for some more Charleston music. The next song was actually written in the year 1918, but it reminds us so much of the Charleston era. So I think...
You know, it wasn't that big a hit when it was written, but by the year 1924, it was number one on the hit parade for something like 10 weeks. So it, most people would identify it as kind of a 20s number. And so.
You'll figure it out. Okay, here we go, Michael.
Okay. Gee, but I'm lonesome, lonesome and blue. I found out something I never knew. I know now what it means to be sad, for I've lost the best gal I ever had. She only left yesterday. Somebody stole her away.
Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my little pal.
Somebody came, took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving.
The kisses I love so, he's getting now, I know.
And gee,
Oh, gee,
I know that she would come to me if she could see her broken-hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came, took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. The kisses I love so. She's getting now, I know. And gee, I know that she would come to me if she could see her broken-hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my gown. Angels, they say, are only above. I know that's wrong because my old love, sure as an angel, take it from me. She's all the angel I want to see. Maybe she'll come back someday. All I can do now is pray.
Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my little pal.
Somebody came, took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. The kisses I love so. He's getting now, I know. And gee, I know that she would come to me if she could see her broken-hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my gal, oh yeah. Somebody stole my gal. Thank you.
We're going to call you up soon again, but that was good.
Now Judy
you,
will tell you
Flash.
about our, yeah, thank you, Flash.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do our song that we learned during the lockdown because we didn't have anything else to do. And we would say, what do you do in the evening when you don't know what to do? Read a book? Play a game? Every night is just the same. Then we discovered the song, and it started with those lyrics. And we thought, wow, this is a great song. And it is a great song. And I have a theory about why some songs were popular and others, which were equally good, never really were popular. Because if Bing Crosby sang a song, it would be a hit. Eddie Cantor, it would be a hit. If I sang it, nobody was going to hear it. But you will tonight. So this is a song that was written in the, I think, 1930.
No, about 1928.
28. Well, that was close.
It was a hit, but it didn't have legs. It didn't persist. So I would be surprised if anybody here knows it.
But the sentiment is what, basically, what did we do during the lockdown? And I just think it's appropriate. So here we go. Let's see if I remember it. What do you do in the evening when you don't know what to do?
Read a book.
Play a game.
Every night is just the same.
What do you say if I tell you how to keep from feeling blue?
My advice is good to take.
And it's easier to do when you're all alone any old night and you're feeling out of tune.
Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon. Underneath the bright silvery light, you'll be feeling better soon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon.
Da 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 da. Look at the stars above.
Look at those sweeties, love.
Oh boy, give me a night in June. I mean it.
All you gotta do any old night when you're feeling out of tune. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon.
You're not alone in the moonlight, though you may be all alone.
By yourself,
You can feel.
here's one place where life is real.
How can you think about trouble in that dreamy atmosphere?
Walk along, hum a song.
And be happy that you're here. When you make a date any old night, you're gonna see your sweetie soon.
Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon. Underneath the bright silvery light, you'll be feeling better soon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon.
Da 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 da. Walk, kiss and then walk again.
Talk, kiss and then talk again.
Oh boy, sweethearts are all in tune. I mean it when
it's raining out, stay in your flat, but on a lovely night in June. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon.
Oh, we need Flash again. Flash.
So here's something from the mid-20s and written by the team of Jackie Ellen and Milt Ager, who wrote a lot of great stuff. And this was, I guess, you'd call this novelty number. Most of these songs were either love songs of one sort or another, or they were kind of novelties, and there were a lot of these in the 20s. And this one is about a ukulele player. Not Judy, of course.
An annoying ukulele player.
Because he lived in an apartment with paper-thin walls, and he liked to play his ukulele all night long. And to top it off,
He knew one song.
Well, he basically would use certain lyrics, which we'll sing to you. And
Oh, you'll know them. Can you say Vo, Vo-dee-o, do? So sing along. They're really tough. You ready, Michael?
sure. There's a guy I'd like to kill. If he doesn't stop, I will. Got a ukulele and a voice that's loud and shrill.
'Cause he lives next door to me, and he keeps me up till 3 with his ukulele and this funny melody.
Crazy words, crazy tune. All that you'll ever hear him croon is Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do. Vo-do-do, sits around all night long, sings the same words every song. Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do.
His ukulele daily, how he'll strum, bum, bum, bum.
Vamping and stamping, then he hollers, black bottom, crazy words, crazy tune. He'll be driving me crazy soon. Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do.
Here we go.
I begged that guy to stop. I've even called a cop. Told my dog go sick him, but the darn dog wouldn't go.
But tonight will be the end. Yes, sirree, 'cause I intend to go up and kick him in his vo-vo-vo-dee-o-do.
Ooh, ooh.
Ouch! Crazy words,
Crazy tune. All that you'll ever hear him croon is Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do. Vo-do-do, sits around all night long, sings the same words every song. Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do.
His ukulele daily, oh, how he'll strum, bum, bum, bum.
Vamping and stamping, then he hollers, black bottom, crazy words, crazy tune.
He'll be driving me crazy soon.
Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do.
Napoleon marched his men, turned around and he said to them,
He said, Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do, Vo-do-do.
Washington, Valley Forge, gee, 'twas cold, up spoke George,
Said, Vo-do-de-o, Vo-do-de-o-do.
remember Patrick
Yeah,
Henry
sure.
in that speech, that famous speech.
Give me liberty or black bottom.
You all heard yesterday.
What did President Coolidge say? Vo-do-de-o, 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 Vo-do-de-o-do. Yeah, and special hand for Flash.
Thank you, Flash. That was great.
Yeah.
The washboard really adds a lot, doesn't it? It's just so much fun. How many of you have washboards at home?
Anybody ever wash clothes on a washboard here? Anybody here? Well, we really one. Okay, we play at retirement homes and nursing homes, and we'll always get a few people who've actually used this for that unholy duty of washing clothes. But
Okay.
we're going to do two numbers. We're going to, I guess you'd call it contrapuntal, although these songs were not written to be performed together, but Judy and I figured out that you could use sort of the same chords and it would work for two distinct songs. I'm going to do a song from 1928, and it was written by one of the great songwriting teams. Dorothy Fields was a lyricist, and Jimmy McHugh. They wrote things like Sunny Side of the Street and so many other great songs. Any case, they were taking a break from their New York studio for lunch, and they're walking along Fifth Avenue, and they're passing Tiffany's. And they see a young couple, not particularly well-dressed, kind of staring into the window. And they overhear the young fellow saying to his girlfriend something to the effect of, "Gee, babe, I'd really like to, but I just can't give you anything but love." And they said, what a great idea for a song. And they went back and they ended up producing one of the all-time great standards. Judy's.
My song has such a dull story compared to that. It was written in 1936, I believe, and it was supposed to be in a movie whose name we don't know, because when the producer heard this song, he said, "That song is so great, let's change the name of the movie to Pennies from Heaven."
It was Bing Crosby, by the way.
So, of course, Bing Crosby, it became popular, correct? It would have become popular probably anyway. Anyway, Michael starts out singing his version of "I Can't Give You Anything But Love." I sing "Pennies from Heaven," and then we sing them together. But do you want to know how that works? Have you told these people how that
Nah.
works? Okay. We'll see if it works for us.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while, you're sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things that you always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby. I can't give you anything but love. Here's Miss Judy.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Make sure that your umbrella's turned upside down. Trade it for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me.
Well, I
Every
can't give
time it
you
rains,
anything but love,
pennies from heaven.
baby. That's
Don't
the
you know
only
each cloud
thing I've
contains
plenty of,
pennies from heaven?
baby. Dream a
You'll find
while,
your
scheme a
fortune
while,
falling all
you're
over
sure to
town.
find
Make
happiness,
sure that your
and I guess
umbrella's
all
turned
those things that
upside
you
down.
always pine for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking
of
swell,
sunshine and
baby.
If
Diamond
you
bracelets
want the things you
Woolworth
love,
doesn't
you must
sell,
have showers.
baby. Till
So
that
when
lucky
you
day,
hear it
you
thunder,
know darn well,
don't run under a
baby.
There'll be
I
pennies
can't
from
give
heaven
you
for
anything but love. Thank you.
Now we have a love song about insects.
Yeah, I mentioned before that the songs are either novelty or love songs. This is a combination.
Okay, so here's a question. Does anybody remember the bug spray Flit?
Yeah, yeah.
Chuck remembers. Tell us what it was, Chuck.
Well, it was the one that had the can. You put the flip in there and pumped it.
That's right. Well, this song has a reference to a can of Flit. We only find the most obscure things in the songs that we do. This was actually written by a team of Henderson. Did I get that right? DeSilva and Brown. It's
DeSilva, Brown,
DeSilva,
Henderson.
Brown, and Henderson. It's the same three names that you're supposed to say the composer first, the lyricist first.
We just looked up. They were together for about 1925 through 30, and we couldn't believe we came up with about 25 major hits from this group. This was written for a 1930s movie. Keep in mind, sound movies were really kind of new then. And the movie was called Just Imagine, and it was a science fiction comedy. It was the year 1930, and they imagined what it would be like in 50 years from there. 50 years from 1980, wow. And they had, the usual stuff. They had flying automobiles, and that kind of stuff. And here was a song from it dealing with reverence for life, all life, insects particularly. So. Love has made me tender. I now appreciate every little creature on this earth that has a mate. Once I hated crickets, I couldn't stand to be. Now here is a motto that I follow faithfully.
Oh, never swat a fly. He may love another fly. He may sit with her and sigh the way I do with you.
Never harm a flea. He may have a favorite she that he bounces on his knee the way I do with you.
Never stop a bee if he is going anywhere.
Or you may be concluding some terrific love affair. Be careful, don't step on an ant in the middle of a pant. He may want to, but he can't, the way I do with you.
I'm the same as you are. Tears come to my eyes when I see professors chasing helpless butterflies. Fishermen are wicked. They live a wicked life. Every day they separate some husband from his wife.
Oh, never swat a fly. He may love another fly. He may sit with her and sigh the way I do with you.
Never spray a knit with a great big can of flit. He may think some knit has it the way I do with you.
Never stop a moth if he is gliding through the air.
He may have a date in someone's flannel underwear.
Yes. Be careful, don't you dare to slay two mosquitoes while they play. They may want to make hey hey the way I do with you.
Oh,
Never swat a fly. He may love another fly. He may sit with her and sigh the way I do with you. Never harm a flea. He may have a favorite she that he bounces on his knee the way I do with you. Never stop a bee if he is going anywhere.
or you may be concluding some terrific love affair.
Be careful, don't step on an ant in the middle of a pant. He may want to, but he can't, the way I do with you. Isn't that sweet? Yeah. So next time, you're getting bitten by a mosquito, you think.
We're going to talk about this song that was, the melody stayed the same,
Just start playing, and we'll see if
but the
anybody can
lyrics
guess.
changed
Yeah.
4 times. We're going to play it and see if you can figure out what it is. If you think you know what it is, start singing it. We want to know if you're right. can't figure out any songs you know with these chords? What?
Yeah, Blue Moon.
But it could also be Earth Angel, please be mine. Or this one. Took a walk and past your house way last night. All the doors were closed and shut. Something big. Silhouette, 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 heart and soul. You know, there are lots of them.
So we're going to play the original, which was Blue Moon, with that chord sequence. It was a few years before Heart and Soul, which basically utilized the same chords. And if you're singing along, just to warn you, we're going to modulate.
We're going from B flat to C the second time through for those of you who are singing along. But anyway, this song was actually written, this is the fourth iteration of the lyrics. The first three just didn't catch on. Michael will tell you more about it because he knows why.
Well, the Rodgers and Hart thought that they really had a great song. It finally appeared in a movie. The movie was pretty well known. It was called Manhattan Melodrama, and it was known primarily because this was a movie that John Dillinger was watching, and he came out of the theater and he was gunned down by the FBI. And so this appeared, but it was in a very subtle way in the movie, and it didn't even catch on then. So they took it to Tin Pan Alley, and they asked for some advice. Why is the song not popular? And basically the guy said, in so many words, he said, dumb it down. He said the lyrics, and Hart looked at it, he said, you mean things like moon, spoon, June, kind of? So, and the guy said, yeah. So they did it and became this enormous hit. So.
And it's all about moon, June, spoon, right? Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for.
And then there suddenly appeared before me
the only one my arms will ever hold.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me.
And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me.
And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Here comes the doo-wop version.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Pretty bad, huh?
Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for.
And there suddenly appeared
before me the only one my arms will ever hold.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me.
And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
We're going to end our whole set, both sets, with a song written by Irving Berlin in the year, I believe, 1925. He wrote it as an engagement present to his wife, now, his future wife. Irving Berlin in his career published over 1,500 songs. How many of you have published one? Michael has. Oh, good, Michael. At least one. Irving Berlin, of course, had the advantage. He lived to 101, so he had a few years on some composers. He was first married in the year 1912 to a young woman by the name of Dorothy Getz. I think she was about 18 or 19 years old. They went to Cuba on their honeymoon. She contracted typhoid fever. She came back to the United States, and within 3 months, she was gone. So Irving Berlin was a widower from the year 1912 until the year 1926. But in 1925, he wrote the song when he proposed to Ellen McKay. And even if she didn't accept his proposal, she still got the rights to the song.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good deal.
I thought a vacuum cleaner would
He
have
was
been
gonna get her a
sufficient,
vacuum
not a song. But
Well, when you listen to the lyrics of this song, you can realize that Irving Berlin, being single for all those years and being a widower, really understood what it would be like to be married to somebody for many, many years. And I believe they were married for 62 years after they were married in the year 1926. And we're not going to tell you the title because we like to surprise you. But you will know this song. Promise you won't cry. We were going to change to our group, instead of being the Muldawers, it was going to be called We Will Make You Cry. But we decided that wasn't a good idea. So thank you so much for coming out and supporting Solid Grounds. We hope that now that you have found it, once you find a place, it's easy to get to, right? So is there anybody here who doesn't get my spam emails? Because I will definitely let you know what's happening at Solid Grounds. Everything went wrong, and the whole day long I'd feel so blue. For the longest while I'd forget to smile, then I met you. Now that my blue days have passed, now that I found you at last,
I'll be loving you always with a love that's true always.
when the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand always, always.
Days may not be fair always.
That's when I'll be there always.
Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always.
will all come true, growing old with you, and time will fly, sharing each day more than the day before, till spring goes by. Then when the spring days are gone, then will my love linger on. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always.
Thank you, thank you. Should I tell them a little story about that song?
Oh, yeah, he has to finish with a story, of course.
So, this was back 1925, and Irving Berlin was contracted to write the music for a Marx Brothers show called The Coconuts. And the book was going to be done by George S. Kaufman. Now, Kaufman, back in the 20s, was sort of the equivalent of Eugene O'Neill, who wrote the dramas, and the comedies were written by Kaufman or Kaufman. And they, as was their custom, they had adjacent suites in the Ritz on the boardwalk of Atlantic City. And they were going to spend a few weeks while they produced all the material required. But in the meantime, Irving Berlin was plunking away and ended up writing this song. And so one night he called to George and said, "Come on over, tell me what you think of this." Now, Kaufman was also a humorist, but he's also a cynic, and he kind of looked down on music as opposed to more serious lyrics or drama. And so he listens to Irving Berlin kind of plunk out the tune on the piano and sing in his raspy voice. And he says, he says, "Izzy," he says, "that's a pretty good melody. The lyrics, in this time and age, it's just too, it's committing too much. I suggest you change it to 'I'll be loving you Thursdays.'" And
and that, folks, that's all, folks.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind attention.